There's a massive threat of Islam in the United States and around the world right now. So what do you do to deconstruct Islam to a Muslim and help him see that the Bible is actually accurate, the Quran is not?
The goal isn't just to rip people out of Islam, but actually to build them into Christ. And the key lies in the Old Testament stories of our Bible. So I'll give you some examples. But first, we're going to read from the Quran. This is in chapter 10, verse 94. It says to Muhammad, "If you are in doubt about what we have revealed to you, then ask those who read the scripture before you." And that's alluding to the Old Testament stories. Another story, this is in chapter 2, verse 247. This is King Saul saying, "God will test you with the river. Whoever drinks from it is not with me. Whoever does not taste it except from a sip from the hollow of his hands is definitely with me." It says later on that Saul and his army charged at Goliath and his army. And then David killed Goliath. Now, anyone who has read the Old Testament knows this is completely contradictory. Another story is of Ishmael. They believe that Ishmael, Abraham, and Hagar traveled to Mecca and built the Kaaba there. Now, a quick look at Genesis 21 completely deconstructs that. We see in verse 21, Ishmael actually married an Egyptian woman, meaning his children are not Arab whatsoever. Not only that, the parallel story in Genesis 21 has him going to Beersheba and not Mecca. The third one I want to bring up, Surah chapter 17, verse 101. "We surely gave Moses 9 clear signs. Ask the children of Israel." Now, in our Bible, we know there were 10 signs and not 9. Clearly, something is an issue here. And guess which one they're missing? The death of the firstborn. Arguably the most important one. Because now we don't have the Passover either. And the Passover is extremely well documented. We don't have the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We have all of these corroborations as well. Also, keep in mind, all of these claims are being made in the 7th century. That means every single manuscript and copy of the Torah and the Old Testament that we have can and will be used against the Quran, including the Dead Sea Scrolls from the 250s BC, all the way to extra biblical texts, such as the Roman historian Josephus, the Greek philosopher Philo, and many, many other codexes of the Old Testament.
How big a threat do you feel like Islam is? And anybody that believes in the Quran, what's your hope for them?
I think it is a massive threat. And my hope is that they first and foremost become Christian. And I know there's a political fight. There's a fight to get the theology right and the morals right. And people love debating those things and fighting for those things, which is important. But I like to deconstruct the Quran first, because all their theology, politics, and morals comes from this. And there's 2 billion people enslaved to this book of nonsense. And so if we can build them back into the Bible, their politics, their morals, and their theology will change. The point and the plan is to make them Christian. And that'll deal with Islam as we know it.